All right, Algebra 1, we are ready for the second half of multiplying polynomials, right? We went through the FOIL method, and now we're going to add on anything else beyond that. Remember, FOIL is a fancy way of doing the distributive property. So what I'm going to do here is take this 2w, and I'm going to work backwards. I want to present this backwards just because if it's in the front, it's no big deal. If it's backwards, I've seen this on some standardized testing, so I don't want it to throw you off. So here's what I'm going to do, 2w times this entire trinomial. So 2 times 1 is 2. W squared, another one makes cubed, plus 2 times 3 is 6, and w is w squared, and negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and that will present with a w. Okay, so that's first term. Second term is 3, so I'm going to go back and do all this distributing again. So 3 times w squared is 3w squared. Notice where I put it. I want to line up my like terms. I don't want a big long line of stuff because then I might get confused. 3 times 3 is 9. And I'm going to make that blatantly positive. And 3 times 4 is negative 12. All right, so my last step is simply to add up my like terms. 2w cubed plus 9w squared plus 1w, or I can just make that w, and minus 12. That's my final answer when I multiply this 2w plus 3 times this trinomial. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so we're going to do this in multi-steps. So we're going to distribute the first one. Now I can work backwards the other way if I want to and distribute 3 times to the 2. I just think it's a little bit faster if I distribute twice. It just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so 3x cubed. Negative 8 times 3, negative 24. X times x is x squared, and 3 times 6, that's 18, and it gets an x as well. Negative 4, so negative 4x squared. So I want to think about what it is so I know where to put it. X squareds, I want to line them up, negative 4 and negative 8, that's positive 32 with an x, and negative and a positive, so negative 24. Now I'm ready to add up my like terms. And what you find out is you just have to be super careful with this one as far as lining up your terms, careful with your signs as you go. Oh my goodness, here we go. That's 50 with an X. But as far as what we're doing, isn't extremely difficult, but there are a lot of moving parts. So just be super duper careful with that. And I know you can be because you have been all this year as well. All right, so 3 times 4 is 12. I'll model one more of these. Let's go ahead and make them X. I don't know why I did that. Okay, here we go. Negative 24 with an x squared, whatever the variable is. All right, and 16 with an x. All right, and multiplied by 1. That's one of my favorites. That means I just rewrite the thing I have there. So 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. All right, so anytime we just multiply by 1, that's all we have to do. So that's kind of nice. 12x cubed stays put. I end up with negative 21 of the x squared. I add 10x, right? Because 16 minus 6, I get 10, and then plus 4. All right, so that's how we handle binomials and trinomials. So how would I handle 2 trinomials? Well, I would just have a third layer to what we're going to do here. So let's take a look. I'm going to take 3x squared, and this time I'm going to take it from the left to the right. Remember, multiplying doesn't really matter. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Now x squared and x squared is to the 4th. So 3 times 3 is 9, x cubed, and negative 33 with an x squared. And then I'm going to take negative 8, and I have to distribute that. Okay, so in the digital world, if you want to erase kind of this other stuff, we can scribble out the first one because we're done with it. Whatever makes it better for you, nice and clear. Negative times negative is positive. That's going to be x to the 3rd, and that's 16. All right, then I'll keep distributing from there. So negative 24 x squared and negative, so plus 88 x to the 1st power. All right, then we got one more time. I get this positive 5. So it's going to be x squared. So negative 10 x squared, right? 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. It has an x squared. 5 times 3, that's 15 with an x, and minus 55. All right, so now our columns are all lined up, so we're ready for that final answer. So I get negative 6x to the 4th. We're going to add together our x cubes, so that's 25x cubed This is all negative, so I get to add it together. We get 7. All right, so it doesn't carry over. X squared. What do we get over here? 5, 6, 67 x squared plus, let's see here, we're going to add these together. I'm going to carry that over. I got a 13, 103x minus 55. And that's the whole thing, guys. All right, so distributive property. So we're moving beyond the FOIL method. All right, so we got one more in here if you want to try it. Okay, but that's the entire process. All right, so we'll check in at class and then we'll keep going from there.